Hello, my name is Carrie Adland, and I live near Seattle, Washington. We share the planet with over 7 billion other people, and almost 1 billion of us, or 1 in 8, are hungry. I'm going to talk today about humanitarian responses to world hunger, and these are generally through charities or hunger organizations. And I'll talk about the 3 general types, and I will describe more fully an organization where I worked and am still a member, Bread for the World. The first type of hunger organization is direct service, and this can be from providing food to somebody on the sidewalk who's asking. Soup kitchens are formed by churches often. Towns will have food banks, and they may be provided by Second Harvest, a national organization which donates food for food banks. Food stamps are a big source of direct service of actual food. And globally, organizations will go in where there's been a disaster, such as the earthquake in Haiti. Food for the Poor provides rice, and then for some protein, sardine gravy. Catholic Charities has been working in Sudan for years because of the civil war. They've been providing massive quantities of food. Next kind of organization for alleviating world hunger is development. And this comes about perhaps the people on the front lines providing the direct service will start asking, well, why are these people hungry? And so some responses may include the Heifer Project, which provides animals for families, and the animals can provide milk. Their offspring can be sold, or they can be eaten for meat, which helps the situation in the particular family. Another development response would be microenterprise, and an organization such as Kiva will make small loans to people in developing places, and then they can start their own small business. Another response, World Vision, will go into a village or an area of the world and will study the needs, the water, the irrigation, the transportation, the farming methods, and stay there for several years until the organization can be on its own, or the area can be on its own. So development organizations are responding to not only giving out the fish, but also teaching how to fish. Third type of organization is advocacy, and I'll explain the organizations that to the direct service and the development are organized in the U.S. under Code Section 501c3, which means a couple things. The organization doesn't have to pay income tax on its receipts, and also people who make the donation get a deduction on their tax return. Now, advocacy is 501c4, which means that the organization still doesn't pay taxes on its income. However, people don't get a tax deduction for their contributions. So, Bread for the World is an advocacy organization. The incentive for forming was that out of every 24 food bags that are given out in the United States, 23 are funded by government. So, as an advocacy organization, Bread for the World influences Congress to pass hunger legislation that favors or provides food for people and development for people. And how that works, nuts and bolts, is Bread for the World currently has 50,000 members, generally organized through churches in the country. And then somebody will be a public policy expert on the staff for Bread for the World and help the people to write letters to their Congress people to influence legislation. Once a year also they invite their members to come to Washington, D.C. for a conference and then possibly directly visit their representatives in Washington, D.C. Currently, Bread for the World is busy working the legislation that funds food stamps is up and being debated in Congress. So Bread for the World has asked its members to write letters in favor of passing hunger legislation. You want any more information on Bread for the World? It's bread.org or bread.org. So these charitable organizations, hunger organizations, don't compete against each other. They really complement each other as different activities or efforts that are aimed at alleviating hunger in our world.